It's absolutely outrageous. Obviously, it cannot continue. But the fact is that there is an attitude of lawlessness in our country that springs from I don't know where. Maybe you do. And we cannot have that lawlessness become the norm.
Yeah, it's a good question. Where did that lawlessness come from? Gee whiz. I think my next guests have a couple of thoughts on it. They're both very smart people, and they know Nancy Pelosi very, very well, right inside her head. Joining us now is Katie Pavlich, townhall.com editor, Fox News contributor, and Guy Benson, host of the Guy Benson radio show, also a Fox News contributor. Katie Pavlich, do you think, I know you're close to Nancy Pelosi. She doesn't really understand where this crime and lawlessness comes from? Really? Really?
Yeah, we're best friends. We go to brunch often on Sundays. But no, we're not close friends. I don't know her well, but I know her behavior well. And it sounds like Nancy Pelosi is getting phone calls from her very rich, affluent friends in California who are now seeing this crime come into their neighborhoods. You have to remember that crime all over the country has been up since last summer as a result of Democrats embracing the defund the police movement, not just in 2020, but starting in 2014, going way back to the Obama administration. And then you combine that with these far left prosecutors who want to decriminalize crime, and we've seen that. We've seen them, take down these shoplifting crimes and fines. We've seen them letting people out of jail with no bail, with bail reform. It's a direct result of far left policies to what they would say redefine what it means to have justice in America under this bogus argument that the system is irredeemably racist and has to be destroyed from the inside out and rebuilt. So that is what we've seen. That is the reason why crime is through the roof. And it's interesting now to see Democrats looking at this politically, but also when they have friends who are affected in places like Beverly Hills or in other rich parts of California, they're now having assaults happen on their front door.
And Guy Benson, just correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Madam Speaker Pelosi frequently defend Black Lives Matter and defunding police and no cash bail and called for social justice, but not necessarily criminal justice? I mean, wasn't she part of the group that rushed to defense of these crazy people?
Well, Larry, I remember to that point, in the summer of 2020, I believe it was, Pelosi was asked about mob violence and destruction of property in Baltimore, which is where her family originally is from, and she downplayed it completely. So now she's looking around, wondering, how on earth is the crime this high across the country? Why are people not valuing the rule of law? Well, because of politicians like her who have made a specific point back when it was a little bit more politically palatable, they felt like the safe place to be, to downplay the importance of law and order. And now they're getting mugged by reality. Their rich friends. I mean, literally, Senator Barbara Boxer was mugged in broad daylight in Oakland a few weeks ago. She was assaulted and robbed in broad daylight, a former U.S. senator. I wonder if Pelosi got a call about that one. I mean, you had the current vice president back in the summer of 2020, her supporters and her campaign urging folks to contribute to bail funds to bail people out, looters and rioters in Minneapolis, for example. I mean, this has been what the Democratic Party did for a period of time. Then, of course, in that city of San Francisco, they've got an almost cartoonishly left-wing district attorney who's effectively decriminalized crime. And this is also a member of Nancy Pelosi's party. So she has no idea where this is emanating from or why this is happening. That's what she says. I think she might be playing dumb on this one and trying to deflect away from the responsibility of an ideology that she has at least coddled.
Yeah, they should just blame themselves. It's Democratic policies run amok. Kids, I want to switch gears a little bit. I think, Guy, you wrote about this, but it's becoming one of my favorite stories. The New York Post editorialized on it today. We mentioned it on this show a couple days ago. Anyway, Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal gives communism a shot, right? Blumenthal went to the 100th anniversary of the Connecticut Communist Party, gave them certificates of special recognition, helping them to recruit new members. That's pretty far out. I'll go to Katie on it. Katie, is this guy, Blumenthal, is now showing up at communist anniversary parties, touting the goodwill and good policies and good intentions of the Communist Party? Huh? Really?
You know, Larry, when I was in college, I had a T-shirt that said, "Communism killed 100 million people, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt." The idea that the Democratic Party has now mainstreamed communism, which is an evil ideology that has resulted in the suffering of hundreds of millions of people around the world, and that they somehow want to coddle it or have communism light in some of their policies, is absolutely despicable. And it's become a pattern here. It's not just Senator Richard Blumenthal. It's, of course, this Saul Amarova, who was nominated, as you very well know, to be in charge of the banking in this country, who wanted to get rid of private checking accounts so the federal government could give people the amount of money that they want. And of course, then there's Bernie Sanders, who is now the Senate budget chairman in charge of these monstrous pieces of legislation, including Build Back Better, that President Biden has also endorsed, who honeymooned in the USSR, who believes that bread lines in communist countries are a sign of economic progress. So this is something that has become mainstreamed, and I think that people very much forget about the evils and horrors that communism has wrought for the human race for decades in our history.
So, Guy, we'll close with you. I want to just read you from the Post editorial. Blumenthal said he was excited and honored to speak at the awards ceremony for the Connecticut People's World Committee, an open Communist Party affiliate. Indeed, the event celebrated the 102nd anniversary of the Communist Party USA, as it explicitly aimed to recruit new Communist Party members. Now, Katie's point about the 100 million, that's, you know, nobody should ever forget that. But to me, I mean, I've known Dick Blumenthal a million times, million years. I mean, I think he's one of the most futile, unimportant senators, does stupid. This is a new low for him. I mean, his stock has been down for years. This is a new low for him.
It's also quite a journey for him, because he spent basically his entire adult life and political career lying about fighting communists in Vietnam. He didn't. And now he is openly and happily greeting them and addressing them at their rallies or their dinners or their fundraisers, their recruitment event, whatever this thing is. So lying about fighting them and now whining and dining with them. That is the story and the journey of Senator Richard Blumenthal. And look, I've always hoped, Larry, that seat would go red, just not this way.
Boy. Okay, that's very clever. Thank you, kids. Both terrific. Katie Pavlich, Guy Benson, as always, wonderful.
Thanks, Larry.
The seat should go red, but not this way. I love that.